Scooby-Doo!
Listen, guys, ghosts aren't real. Everyone has their own interpretation, their own belief about ghosts. But it's obvious that ghosts aren't real. After all, we are the mystery game, and it is our jobs, such as this, to unravel such mysteries. But ghosts aren't real. You know, for starters, ghost stories go back as far as the 1st century. According to Alvin Schwartz, the author of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the first notable ghost story was told by a Roman author. But you cannot contact ghosts because ghosts aren't real. And just to assure you, we're going to talk about Ouija boards, seances, and psychic mediums. Okay?
Like, Ouija boards are totally real, dude. I mean, I read an article on Smithsonian.com on November 29, 2017, and it said that Ouija board even named itself, dude. Like, the creators asked the board what they should call it, and the name Ouija came out. Like, Helen Peters, the creator's sister-in-law, was wearing a locket of a dead woman named Ouija. How spooky is that?
Hold on, Shaggy. You can't really believe that a piece of wood allows you to contact ghosts and demons and spirits, do you?
Like, I totally do, dude.
Come on, Shaggy. It's all science, not paranormal. In fact, there's already been tons of research on the science behind this game and how it's just that, a game. There's actually a Vox article titled How Ouija Boards Work that was just posted on September 29th, 2017, that talks all about the actual science behind the mysteriously moving planchette, the game piece, the planchette. According to this article, the reason the planchette moves has less to do with otherworldly beings and more to do with the ideomotor effect. The ideomotor effect? The ideomotor effect is what happens when your body moves subconsciously. It moves without you telling it to, and you don't necessarily feel it moving. Think like when you jerk yourself awake in the middle of the night. You don't consciously tell yourself to wake up, but your body does it subconsciously. So when you ask the Ouija board a question, you're probably already thinking of answers you're hoping it'll spell out. So your body naturally moves to spell out the words you're thinking in your head. In fact, the article also talks about an experiment where 4 participants played a game of Ouija twice. The first time they played it regularly, and the second time they played it blindfolded. While playing the board, the spirits were able to spell out specific things, like the participant's grandfather's name. But when playing blindfolded, the board couldn't even spell out coherent words. Wait, I actually think I have the video on my phone here.
Kendall's grandpa, show us that you're with us again.
That's odd. Are the spirits drawing a blank?
You know what year he died?
Yes.
Okay. What year did you die? Right there? Okay. Here's the second number.
How do you think our new believers will react when they find out the spirits are having some technical difficulties?
See, don't you see, Shaggy? When they were blindfolded, they couldn't even spell out a 4-digit number. This is because the participants weren't able to see the board. So while their bodies naturally moved to where they thought the letters were, they weren't really spelling out any coherent words. So even without realizing it, you're what's moving the planchette, not the undead. So stop being ridiculous, Shaggy. It's all in your head.
Okay, I guess Ouija boards aren't real. But what about seances though, dude? Like, I read an article by Stephen Wagner, a professional paranormal investigator of 30 years, on November 29th, 2017, and it said that seances date all the way back to the Victorian age, dude. Like, Wagner states that the hosts gather people together to contact the undead. Like, that can't be fake, dude.
Whoa, hold up there. You think, Shaggy, that seances cannot be faked? They are a scam. To get more money and to buy more Scooby snacks for me, of course, and to trick people. Cold reading, as Frank McAndrew says in Psychology Today in April 2017, is a technique that the mediums use to get more information by asking leading and ambiguous questions while reading body language and verbal cues of the client. During seances, people have said that they see or feel spirits or ghosts. Of course, these are fake spirits and ghosts. Most often, they're life-size images or people that dress up as ghosts. Just like Katie Haney said in February 2014, in a magazine that focuses on society's biggest problems, that research and narratives around the year of 1906, a scam artist known as Martha Barad used a worker as the spirit of Bien Boa, a 300-year-old Brahmin Hindu. That worker later confessed in a newspaper article that he conspired with Barad in these sessions. She was forced then to confess and later had to move to another country to start over her scams again, of course. People think they see or hear objects move as well. Katie stated that her family was well known for seance con artistry. Her family would use a fuse box to make the TV flicker. They rigged the staircases to make stepping noises, as well as making the books fly off shelves. Just in case, because people have also heard about music being played in or seeing violins or something like playing all by themselves, Joe Nickel was able to expose an instrument playing themselves. During this seance, violins were played by two mediums hidden away in a cabinet. Unbeknownst to the rest of the crowd or the patrons and the mediums, one of them actually smeared an ink on the neck of the violin. Before the seance began, the ink smeared all over one of the mediums when the lights turned on and the seance was over. This was stated by Frank also in Psychology Today. So you really still think that seances cannot be faked?
Well, man, I never would have guessed that seances were fake. But, like, what about psychic mediums, though, dude? I read an article on Oprah.com on November 29, 2017, written by Rebecca Rosen, a successful mental medium, and she stated that the emphasis of my work is mediumship, making connections with and delivering messages from people who are no longer living to people who are still are. Like, she states that she receives her information directly from the undead, spirit guides, and angels. Like, that's gotta be real, man.
Really, Shaggy? You're gonna argue to me that psychic mediums are real? Let me explain why they're just a bunch of scam artists. So psychic mediums can easily fake a reading by making claims that can apply to anyone. So for example, a medium can say your dead relative is dead, and they'll eat it up because obviously they believe you can talk to the dead. Also, according to Joe Oliveto from Thrillist.com, accessed on November 29, 2017, says that Veteran 4 was a psychologist who gave his students a test saying that it would help them make a personality profile for each and every one of them. Secretly, he gave every student the same exact profile, regardless of their answers, and asked them to rate how accurate they thought it was. The majority of students said it was right on the mark. Again, people will eat anything up if it's broad enough, which brings me to my next point. Joe Oliveto also claimed that by keeping it vague and explaining that the spirit world doesn't always communicate clearly, a psychic can seem legit even when caught in a clear lie. Mediums can literally lie to a client, and the client would conform to whatever he's saying because they believe they can talk to the dead. To end off, Mark Edward, a former medium, was being interviewed by ABC.com, conducted on May 9th, 2010. When asked, are psychics real? He responded with, no, they're not real. It's just a matter of intuition. If you're good with people, you learn how to read people. So even a former psychic was interviewed by a mainstream media source and admitted that it was all a scam. Mediums just do it for the money and don't really talk to the dead.
Well, man, I never would have guessed that mediums fake talking to ghosts, so I guess that ghosts really aren't real. All this time, I thought that they were unexplainable phenomena, dude. But I guess if Ouija boards, seances, and mediums fake it, then there really are no ghosts to contact. Right, Fred?
That's right, Shaggy. We have proven time and time again that there's always a logical explanation for things that go boo in the dark or things that we just can't understand. So therefore, we already talked about Ouija boards, psychic mediums, and seances. So once again, we understand that these are all just hoaxes. And once again, Shaggy,
Ghosts aren't real.